Hey, look at this, a brew day video on my brewing channel. Will wonders never cease? Look at that. We got grain crushed. I did that yesterday. I did a timer for the Grainfather, the G40. It's up to 67. We're just gonna knock that back to 65. And we're already ready for mash in. I just got out of the shower. So yeah, let's get the grain in there, and we'll talk about what the beer actually is. Well, maybe we should talk about what it is now. So this is the grist. It's going to be the bitter, the extra special bitter, the just bittery bitter. This is 5. So what we're doing today is we're doing a 30 liter. If you notice that there's a shit ton of water in there. We're doing a 30 liter no sparge. I'm trying out what the maximum no sparge is on this. So this should be able to make 40 liters or 10 gallons of finished mid-gravity beer. So I'm gonna try out the no sparge because I want to get this brew day wrapped up pretty quick today. So we're gonna try for 30 liters or some gallons of wort, no sparge. So that's 42 liters of water with all the salts and everything in it already in there. At 67, we're gonna mash in. This is 5 kilos of Maris Otter, 1 kilo of pale ale malt. And then there's Cara Blonde, Cara Ruby, coffee malt, and a little bit of brown malt, just enough to give kind of that English kind of orangey tint to it. I wanted to do a blending of crystal malts, both to give maybe some more character to the malt profile, and also because I've had them forever and I want to get rid of them. So, all right, let's get this in, and we'll talk a little bit more. We'll talk a little bit more later. Where's the brew? Where's the spoon? What do I do with you? Also do. Yeah, so as you can see, so that was about what? That was little over 6.5 kilos of grain. I'll put the exact stuff up in the description and up on the screen if I remember. But you can see that it's pretty much up to the lip of the grain basket. So you could probably go all the way up to 7 kilos of grain with a 30 liter no sparge, but you would be really pushing overflowing the. I've got the pump backed way back so the recirc doesn't get too crazy and overflow, because the G40 at least doesn't have a top screen, which I've never thought that they were that useful anyway, but and doesn't have an overflow pipe in the center. The overflow is kind of built into the actual grain basket. So but yeah, you can definitely do 6-7 kilos of grain, 30 liters no sparge in the G40 so far without any problem. We'll see you later. All right, we'll be back. We'll be back at mash out. Bye bye. All right, take a look. Looking good. I did about a 90-minute mash because I got into something in the house, but not going to be too much of a problem. Let's see if I can lift. Let's see if I can lift the grain basket with this much in it. Let's get down. Get a little guerrilla action going there. All right. Let's see. Lift this. Oh. Gotta. All right, you gotta take out the. I should probably turn it off first before I blast hot wort everywhere. Come on. Does not like coming out. I gotta get some kind of storage or something on this back wall for like the lid, the Grainfather lid, and the hose. It'll be nice eventually when I've got the sink and I can put the like dirty stuff just on the sink. I'll just lay it on this table. It has to be cleaned anyway. All right. Now let's see if I can lift this mamma jamma here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to for sure maybe look into some kind of a pulley system maybe at some point in the future. But all right, that's draining out pretty quickly. We're gonna set the temperature up to a hundo and get heading towards the boil. So here's the mash tun mostly drained. One of the things about the G40, like I said, I think earlier, is that it doesn't have a top plate, which I gave up on the top plate pretty early on in my old Grainfather in the G30. But you can see that the grain bed isn't quite even. You can actually see the channeling over here from where this is where the Sparge return hose was. But all in all, not too bad. One thing I have noticed, and maybe you can see it, maybe I can get I really need to look. Hang on. There is a lot of uncrushed grain in here, and that is just due to my mill. I really need to get a new one. I've had the same one for almost 10 years now. I bought a cheap one 10 years ago, and it's fine, but you can see that it's starting to the rollers won't stay where I put them, so the gap kind of shifts underways every time I tend to like mill a kilo of grain, and then I'll go and I'll make sure that everything is still in the same. It's old and it was cheap, and I'm due for a new one. Because you can really see how much grain didn't get milled. So that'll probably be in the near future. I want to build a grain cart as well, so that'll be a good time to. That'll be another one of my summer projects. So all right. So for this beer, we're going to be using Pioneer hops. They're a British variety of hop. They should be sort of classic British. Flavor or smell or whatever, mixed with a little bit of a more citrusy type thing. They smell, they smell very cedary, very like earthy, cedary. They smell pretty classic. You can see that they are classic for another reason. I've had these friggin' hops for, was it 7 years now? More than that. I'm going to be using all of them. There's a little bit left in the bag. I'm going to spread that out between, I'm going to do a pretty decent sized bittering charge, to get that nice firm bitterness. Also don't think I can, trust that, alpha anymore since they're so old. But I mean, the package has never been opened, so there's at least that, and it's been frozen. But it has, like, I've had it since before I moved here. And then this is going to be probably a 5 minute, and then I don't know if I'll do a whirlpool or if I'll just huck it in there. when I'm cooling the wort. I don't know. It'll depend on the timing. But yeah, we're just going to spread all 100 grams of this out between these 3 charges. I just got to go into Brewfather and figure out the actual. I was going to save some, but then I realized that it's just like this package is so huge and I've had it for so long. Let's just get rid of all of it. I'm gonna go and mess around in Brewfather and check out just getting the whole 100 grams in there somehow without overloading it. But yeah, so that's it. Pioneer, and yeah, we're heading towards boil. All right, we hit the boil. You can see that even with 30 liters, we're getting a really nice boil going. Gonna be using the hop spider today, just because of the leaf hops. Let's go over and grab. I reconfigured the. So this is 25 grams of Pioneer hops going in. That should give us a nice starting bitterness, even if the alpha is a little bit lower than those than that 8%. I actually lowered it a little bit in Brewfather, but yeah, we're gonna use this thing because leaf hops and it'll be easier to clean later. And yeah, there we go. First hop drops in. We'll see you again in 50 minutes. All right, let's do a quick brew day wrap up. I just finished getting all the wort into fermenters. There's one there, and I got the other one is already in the firm chamber. Because the groundwater is so cold, we actually undershot the cooling, so it actually has to warm up a little bit. I'll wait till that one gets to about 17 and a half before pitching. Oh, I should probably talk about that. So that's my little 9-liter Brewtech bucket, and then in the firm chamber is a regular 20-liter. So the whole point of this was I'm doing 2 yeasts. I'm doing the bigger batch, the full size batch, is getting USO4, so just an English yeast strain for an English beer. And then I wanted to brew an extra 10 liters because I've got some yeast that is expired that I found in the fridge from experiments that I wanted to do and never got around to. So what I'm going to do is in this smaller one, which I got about 8 liters in here. I'm going to throw this Philly Sour in and see if it takes off. It expired in August of 2022, so that's 6 months old. 6 months past expiry. I don't know if it doesn't take off. I've got some other yeasts that I'll pitch in there. If absolutely nothing else, I've got some fake yeast that'll go to town on it. Either that or I'll top crop off the USO4. But so that's the plan for the little one is Philly Sour, and I'm gonna see how that yeast does since I've never brewed with it. So that's the plan. I'll be waiting. I'm going to take this one inside because the other firm chamber isn't ready. It's got a bunch of stuff in it. So I'm going to take that inside and it's going to go even warmer because I think that this Philly Sour, yeah, what's the recommended? I can't read it through the thingamajig. Do they seriously not put it on here? Pitching rates, storage, temperature. They don't put if I remember correctly, it's somewhere around 20 degrees. So the inside of the house will be fine. I wanted to do like a wrap up on the G40 because this is the first time brewing 30 liters on it, and the first time I've ever done a video. So there it is. It numbers were spot on. Brewfather and the G40, the numbers are always spot on. I got exactly the amount of work that I was supposed to. All the numbers except the efficiency ended with. We were looking for 1050, ended with 1054, 1055. So it's going to be somewhere in the 5%. It was supposed to be about 4.85%. It's probably going to be more like 5.2, 5.5. That's a little strong for an extra bitter, but I also put a shit ton more hops in it. So maybe it'll be an English pale ale. I don't know. I don't really care. It's going to be a beer, hopefully a tasty beer. You can see also one thing that I've noticed, and I don't know if it's my, see if I can get it to focus. I don't know if it's my mill that's milling weirdly. Like sometimes it mills flour, sometimes it, like I showed earlier, mills, it doesn't even crush the grain. But there's always so much left in the bottom of the filter, which is awesome because it means that it's not in the beer. The filter on this is amazing. But yeah, I don't know if that's my mill or if it's the just the Grainfather in general lets more during the mash. You know, maybe it just lets too much through. I don't know. Let me know if anybody else with a G40 gets this. Otherwise, it's probably just my mill that mills things like fully pulverizes too much. Some of it like 50-50. Hop Spider was a great investment actually, especially for the G40 because I wouldn't want to have all this in addition to all this on the bottom. I have done a pretty big IPA with a lot of hops, and it's gotten the drawdown has been really, really slow on it. So yeah. Counterflow chiller is amazing. Look at all that. Look at all the slack in the lines on this thing. God, I love this thing. It makes the brew days so much nicer. And now I'm gonna clean it out through the bottom drain, which is also gonna be fine. That thingamajig is hopefully gonna be in the mail as of tonight. I think I've got my order locked in, so I can get a ball valve so we can just shoot a line over to the drain here. And yeah, that's it. It's beer o'clock. Look at that hair. Look at that hair, guy. Dang, boy. Yeah, so it is now beer o'clock. I'm gonna pitch the yeast in an hour or so. Yeah, we're up to 17 on the other one, so yeah, about an hour I'll pitch the yeast, and also my wrapped pill is still charging, so I want to wait for that to be done, and I want to get it on the new network out here because it's still on the house network, so it won't be able to report. So I want to wait for it to charge and then get it on. I'm having trouble connecting to it. I think it's because the battery was full ass dead. So I'm gonna get that hopefully connected to the brew house Wi-Fi and get that in the 04 version, because who knows if the Philly will even go. So anyway, all right, this is probably gonna be a long video, so I'm gonna stop now. Especially if I want to put the tasting on the end. Ooh, well, we'll see. See you in the future. Past Alex, out.